Grey green tea. Earl Grey, incredibly popular tea in England, but it's made with black tea, which isn't as healthy and beneficial. And then our peppermint tea from the Pacific Northwest, organic, of course, all our teas are organic, our organic mint tea. And both of these products are virtually perfect reviewed. So if you want a green tea that never gets bittered, that gets you all the benefits of green tea without the experience you don't like of green tea, then this is where you go.
I like to think it's maybe one of the only areas where I can add some kind of validation to something, that it might mean something. But being from England, I do know something or two about tea, and I can tell you, I drink Andrew's teas. They are remarkable. And I mean, I've had more tea in my lifetime than you've had hot dinners, a lot of tea. His teas are smooth, they are delicious, they're not heavy or like they leave an aftertaste. They are not, they're refreshing, they are energizing, they're relaxing, they're awesome. So if you're an Earl Grey drinker, for example, I mean, Earl Grey was one of those that I adopted a while ago. You've got to try Andrew's Organic Earl Grey. It's certified organic, of course. It's a natural Earl Grey green tea. It is divine. I will tell you, if you had to choose between these two, I would push you to the peppermint. I think the peppermint is going to drive your taste buds wild. To find this quality of tea at this type of price is honestly almost impossible.
Are we not having graphics up or something? I'm not sure.
Oh, what did we have up? They're coming.
So yeah, unfortunately the graphic isn't up. So the item number on the mint green tea is 091414.
Well spotted,
so
Andrew.
It's 091414, and our mint. It tastes like mint tea, which is what people enjoy, but you're actually getting the benefits of green tea, and you will not taste a hint of bitterness either from our mint or green. And we have an image that we use in my refrigerator all the time, but I have, at any one point in time, I have 6 little teapots in my refrigerator. Even if I go away for 2 weeks, they stay in the refrigerator. When I come back in 2 weeks, the tea is still in there. They are not bitter, meaning the tea bag, the tea leaves are still in there. They never get bitter. Half of them are green tea, half of them are mint and chamomile tea, because after noon, I start drinking the non-caffeine containing teas. But even our standard teas, the caffeine content in our standard teas, very low. It's not going to cause you any edginess. So it's a great substitute for coffee, if that's what you're choosing to do.
And a lot of us are such creatures of habit that we go towards coffee and we drink coffee and we're kind of scared to try something else. My honest belief is once you start, and perhaps with the peppermint, you will drink this more than anything else.
It's a delicious peppermint tea with the benefits of green tea, or a delicious Earl Grey tea with the benefits of green tea. Both of them are organic. They will never get bitter. So unfortunately, I guess we still don't have the graphics up, huh?
I think our team, so should we move along?
So I think that might be, the graphics are up? They're up?
We got them. Oh, they're up. There we go.
They're on the lower screen? Okay, good. All right.
So now you can see the different options, the different servings, as it were, that you can choose. Andrew, your pickiness with regards quality is there in everything you do, including this.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you'll often see with our teas, they're out of stock. The reason why they're out of stock is I don't care if the tea is supposed to be the same as the tea we had before. If it doesn't pass my taste test, we don't accept it. So, and in fact, this week I'll be tasting teas just to make sure, because we're about to run out of our jasmine tea. So unless something meets my taste spec, it's not going to my specification in terms of taste. It's not going to be reordered, and we'd rather have the tea be out of stock, as we often have with our chamomile tea, as we've had in the past with our mint tea, because if we can't find something that is not going to be bitter at all, then we will never offer it. So we're really careful about that. You will not find teas like these anywhere else in a supermarket, in a health food store at all.
And they are on FlexPay, don't forget, with that free shipping and handling. Just the intrigue of trying it, you have to try it to know. If you make yourself a cup of Andrew's peppermint green tea and you don't love it, obviously return it and get a refund of the purchase price. But I know a lot of us are intrigued by the lifestyle that Andrew leads in terms of the choices that he makes with food, with drink, with anything to do with health. This is something that he swears by, as do I, and anybody that tries it is sold on it.
And the reason why it's something that it's not something that I'm making up. If you want to go to research databases and look at a lifestyle habit, if you look at these epidemiological epidemiologic studies that deal with large populations that involve millions of people, you will find that one of the healthiest habits, maybe in terms of anything we do in terms of our diet, better than red wine, maybe better than olive oil, it's consuming green tea. So it's something that I do simply because I now enjoy it, but because I absolutely know it's incredibly healthy to do.
We'll stick around as we go to our next item. I know we're about 15 or 10 minutes away from a grand tour of our incredible facility.
The next few products, unfortunately, have to be done quickly, so we save time to do our little tour of the facility as well. This next one is our immune factors. I wanted to talk about it last night. I wanted to talk about it previously. We haven't had a chance to really discuss it. It's one of those products that you'd expect to be very poorly reviewed. Yes. Because when it comes to an immune system product, people have some pretty lofty, pretty high expectations. Surprisingly, well, not if you've tried the product, but surprisingly, this product is almost perfectly reviewed. In fact, in its early days, it went about the longest of any product with having nothing but 5-star reviews. Wow. And I think today it's certainly more than 4.5 stars. I'm not sure what the average rating is. It's 4.8 stars. Mathematically, I'm looking at the screen here. Out of 437 reviews, 359 of them are 5-star reviews. So if you look at both 4 and 5-star reviews, basically about 90% or so are 5-star reviews. So it's a product that really does perform. It's both nutrients in terms of a full B complex, our special B12, our special folate, and also high levels of vitamin C, like a separate vitamin C, and also all the key immune system botanicals, echinacea, golden seal, a mushroom extract, beta-glucan, standardized mushroom extract, and astragalus as well. So you're getting a full comprehensive nutraceutical and a full comprehensive botanical in terms of your immune system.
So Andrew, with regards this time of year again, is this something I would take at this time or all year long?
I take immune factors. I don't take it all year long. I take it, I just was in France, so I took it before I went to France because there's a 9-hour time difference. Right. Then I'm just there for a short while, then I come back here and I'm doing shows, there's a 9-hour time difference. So this is the time I take it. I tend to take it when I know my sleep might be more challenged by traveling. So that's the time of year when I take it. Because I know for me, if I tend to ever notice my immune system getting run down, it's when it's for lack of sleep. It's not for stress with me, it's lack of sleep. So I know that's the time. And for all of us, we know there are certain things that challenge our immune system, whether we might be traveling, whether we're getting together with lots of large groups, depending on where we might live, we get in enclosed spaces, so we spend more time indoors and we're in contact with more people. If I'm also exposed to certain things, I will do my best to keep my immune system strong, get plenty of sleep, hydrate well, drink plenty of green tea, and of course use my immune factors.
So it's a wonderful time to be able to shop for it. Obviously, Andrew didn't get a chance to talk about this last night, but if you are right now starting to feel that cold weather set in, you're feeling more vulnerable, you're feeling like you need a little extra boost, this will give it to us.
And many times you see products that talk about themselves in terms of avoiding colds and flu and treating and remedying colds and flu. That's actually an improper discussion to be had in terms of a nutritional supplement. The only thing a nutritional supplement can do is, if the foundation of avoiding the cold and flu is simply the fact that we need to maintain a strong immune system, that is our only line of defense, then if a nutritional supplement can support healthier immune system function, that is the only thing we can do. And of course, in terms of diet and lifestyle, there's a whole long list of things we can do that often get thrown out the window when we reach this time of year. So to answer your original question, a lot of people choose to take one capsule of this every day. That's not how I choose to take it. I choose to take it at those moments when I know I'm doing things or experiencing things that are going to challenge my immune system, and that's when I take it.
It is available today with the sizing 30, 60, 180 or 360. Obviously, your best savings are with that 360, you save $50. A lot of the things that we're doing tonight, if you want to maximize the value, do the flex pay on the biggest size. Remember that. That's the best way to go. So that's immune factors. Let us know what you think. listening, certainly add a review if you get a chance. We're going to head over this way. And Andrew, I think last time I was on with you, you actually coined a phrase that's kind of caught on across the country. Respect the cranberry, you said. And you do have to respect the cranberry.
No, it's funny. I've been saying for years, respect the liver, so I guess we could just add that to the respect. So
this is one of those magical ingredients that has so many things to respect about it.
Well, it's one of those ingredients that, and it's kind of fun when you read all the traditional research, and you could find traditional medical texts that talk about cranberry or talk about turmeric, that it's kind of fascinating. And they get, I remember when I was a kid, they sort of got poo-pooed, they got dismissed. Oh, that's just old wives' tale, that's just folklore. That's really not valid science. Of course, when it comes to cranberry, we absolutely, positively, unequivocally know that it is valid science. They knew what they were talking about, that cranberry absolutely does play a significant role, and a role that's been identified specifically in terms of its mechanism, meaning that it's not just magic, as much as you said that cranberry might be magical, that it's not some magic and mystery that we don't know how it works. We actually understand how the components in cranberry go about their supportive, their protective role in terms of our bladder, kidneys, urinary tract. So it's no longer a mystery. For years, we were told to drink cranberry juice. Unfortunately, drinking cranberry juice, cranberries tend to be very bitter. Cranberry juice tends to be very high in sugar and carbs. We have a bottle here, and what is it? I think it's 140. It's 140 calories.
Yeah.
140 calories per cup. That means something like this, which is probably how many servings? 8 servings. So this container alone is well over 1,000 calories. All of them sugar calories. All of them, without exception, sugar calories. So what, fortunately, we're able to do now, thanks to science, we take that wonderful cranberry. We are able to extract the active compound from the cranberry, leaving behind the sugar, and you end up with this. You end up with a pink little capsule. That's not an artificial color. And that pink little capsule, that pink powder inside, is the beneficial
Beautiful
components.
color.
Oh, it's a beautiful pink. I'm not sure if we pick it. Oh, we do on TV. It looks good.
Yeah.
So that's the beneficial compound from the cranberry. And this is one of those products that, again, almost mathematically, it's hard to conceive of it being this perfectly reviewed, because you figure there might be some 1 or 2 star reviews because the product was received damaged or it didn't get there on time. But to think that, again, we were just talking about immune factors, 4.8 stars. A 4-star average is an incredible average and hard to achieve. You need to have overwhelmingly positive reviews. But to have 4.8, I'm not sure what this one is reviewed. Is this also? I think it's more than 4.5 for sure. It's on the screen.
This is 87% 5 stars. It's 4.8.
Oh, again, this is 4.8 stars again. So again, this is a product that's probably 95+% positive reviews. And you can bet if the reviews are positive of this product, it's an experience that someone is having in terms of their health and function of, and that's what this product supports, of their bladder, their kidneys, and urinary tract. The reviews on this product are beyond compelling, beyond inspiring, and it's not that I do anything other than get out of Mother Nature's way. I just try to take the cranberry, get exactly what we benefit from the cranberry, eliminate the sugar because we don't need that, and then allow all of the benefits of this wonderful natural ingredient to be delivered to our bodies.
It's crazy because I'm like an Andrew Lessman ambassador. Whoever I meet, whoever I talk to, whoever asks me about HSN, we always end up with the name Andrew Lessman, because I find myself convincing people, trying to showcase that, hey, do you take vitamins? What are you taking? And all I would ask is this: you compare your vitamin product to Andrew's vitamin product. If you're taking a cranberry product, compare it to this, because when you compare, there is no comparison.
That's what we often say. I'd say compare us to our competition, but there kind of isn't, because no one really sets out to make products as we do. And your reviews are often, they're wonderful to talk about on air because it gives everyone an objective source of information.
Yeah.
But the other things your reviews have done has allowed me to continue to improve my products. So your reviews are my feedback, because we've had products, of course, almost all of our products today, I think all of them actually are our customer picks, every single one of them. But at times there have been products that were not. And those products, we went back to the drawing board, because until we have a product that is a customer pick or better, 4.5, our average products, if you combine all our reviews, which I think are close to 70,000 reviews, they average between 4.6 and 4.7 stars, which to me lets me know that I'm doing a good job on your behalf, because if a product doesn't get good reviews, the only thing that product should do is go away. Unless that product gets great reviews, it's not a product that's satisfying you. And unless the product is satisfying almost everyone who tries it, I've failed. So with this product, obviously, we've succeeded admirably.
Well, maybe that's the perfect segue. As we talk about feeling satisfied, it's a topic we do have to talk about: fiber. Andrew, people, we don't get enough fiber, do we?
Well, especially this time of year, we tend to eat in a way where our fiber consumption is reduced. We struggle with irregularity or constipation. Fiber is going back to the word magic, fiber just in general is the magic ingredient in terms of the human body, in terms of regularity. But if we look at the way we eat as Americans, fiber is one of those classic deficiencies in the human diet. We'll talk about omega-3s in a moment, but because fiber isn't technically a nutrient, I mean, it couldn't be a nutrient because we don't absorb it. So it's not nourishing us, but as essential as any nutrient is, fiber is just that essential, because the healthy function of our digestive system depends on it. And I mean moving through our life in a healthy, comfortable fashion, struggling with constipation, irregularity, it's not pleasant. And when you think about most Americans periodically struggle with that or frequently struggle with that, and fiber is our single great opportunity to make a difference. Fiber with adequate hydration, so if you're drinking your tea or your water or things like that, and then you're getting adequate fiber intake. And with this product, just 1 or 2 capsules with each meal is magical. And we're talking about a product that's less than 10 cents a capsule. So it's a product that just 1 capsule with each meal, and you will notice a significant difference. No gas, no bloating, no discomfort. Again, fiber products are usually products that are hated, for lack of a better word. People just don't like them. They review them horribly. But if you look at our fiber products reviews, this is another product that's reviewed almost perfectly. I think it's more than 4.5 stars again. I'm not sure what the reviews are.
It is 4.6.
4.6 stars. So again, this is a product that has 821 reviews.
Yeah.
Oh, a total of 999 reviews, and between 4 and 5 star reviews, almost 900 of them.
Wow.
So again, this is a fiber product, and if you read the reviews, they're passionate reviews about the benefits this delivers. So again, it's going to make fiber, it's hard to say this, but it's going to make fiber a pleasant experience. And certainly our digestive system, it's almost 30 feet long. And it's no wonder, as things move through us, it's not a comfortable process. And if it's not moving through at the proper pace and the proper rate, it becomes downright uncomfortable. And when we think about food, we eat all sorts of random things. They go to our stomach. That's where the initial digestive work starts. It then goes to our small intestines, where we're extracting nutrients, continuing the digestive process, and getting what we need out of that food. And then it slowly moves through our colon. And as it goes through our body, that 25 plus feet of digestive system, fiber is absolutely essential for the proper rate and the proper excretion. And believe me, if it's not going through at its proper rate, it's going to be uncomfortable. We all know this, and our fiber is one of those products that, as affordable as it is, people write in the reviews they'd pay 10, 20 times more for this product, as big a difference as it's made in their life.
And what we're doing is we're kind of racing through some of Andrew's best sellers before we kind of round out the show with our 2 today's specials. So if you see something you like, you want to take advantage of the special pricing and the free shipping, here's what we have in terms of our fiber mucil offerings. You can choose the 60 caps. There's a 180, 360, 720, or the 1000. These are always really easily nicely laid out. So you can see here's your regular pricing of what you would normally pay. If you buy it right now, this is what you're going to pay. So a nice difference, especially when you get down here. The 720 would normally be 104. Today it's 74. The 1000 would be 129. Today it's 89. Again, save 40, save 30. Once you try Andrew's fiber product, you won't go to any other. I mean, it's quite remarkable. I think a lot of us are concerned with what we're ingesting, what we're taking, the supplements that we're selecting. This is a world-class, best-in-the-world fiber product, and that's not just me saying it, it's you as well, which is why we have 1,000 reviews. Andrew, final words on this one?
It's just one of the most glaring deficiencies in the human diet, in the American diet, even though we don't think of fiber as being a nutrient you could be, quote, deficient in, but I would go so far as to say it is a glaring deficiency because also greater fiber intake lowers cholesterol, lowers LDL cholesterol the more you consume fiber. It gives you greater feelings of fullness, so it tends to help us lose body weight as well. So increasing fiber intake has all sorts of wonderful positive roles. Also helps us regulate blood sugar metabolism better. So adding fiber to our diet, whether in the food we eat or supplementing it, is all about a long list of benefits.
We are only about 6 minutes away from our big tour. We're going to head over this way.
Yes.
It's interesting, Andrew, because in some of the reviews that you've read today on other products, people have actually mentioned your essential omega-3.
Well,
this is a bestseller.
It's one of our real kind of what you say our standard bearers. It's one of our products that really exemplifies what we do because it is so different in terms of its experience. A typical omega-3 product is a large capsule that's hard to swallow, has a fishy aftertaste, upsets your stomach, difficult to deal with for all sorts of digestive reasons. So our product is a small capsule, contains more in that small capsule than a typical, if we do it right here. Here's our capsule. As you can see, it's a small capsule. And I'll put some other capsules next to it that contain less omega-3. They're the standard capsules you'll see at standard retail stores.
I find this fascinating to me, you see.
So these capsules, which are almost twice the size as mine, they're about 60 or 70% larger. Those capsules contain less beneficial omega-3. They're hard to swallow. They also are going to have a fishy aftertaste. They're going to be difficult on your digestive system. So just on a basic objective level, without getting into the real technical issues and the science of the specific forms of omega-3 that we use, the balance and ratio of those omega-3s that we use that those companies don't even consider. So just on the most superficial, basic level, smaller capsule, much smaller capsule, it will never upset your stomach. It will never have a fishy aftertaste. And it gives you the omega-3s in the natural form you want and in the perfect ratio that you seek. Other companies do not do that. And that's why this product has become, without question, one of our most popular products, one of our highest reorder products, and also fish oil, like fiber, one of those products that typical bad reviews are what you'd expect. This product, again, is almost a perfectly reviewed product. And you have to remember, that's a fish oil product. And it's almost perfectly reviewed. Plus, without even considering omega-3 products, can have a huge impact on the fisheries in our ocean. We make sure that our omega-3s are all independently, objectively certified for being produced in an environmentally responsible fashion. So I don't think anyone else does one or two of the things that we do, and we do a long list of things that make this special. 3,000.
Most products on HSN have 10 to 20 reviews, bear that in mind. 3,159 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars. 2,700 of them, nearly, are perfect 5 stars.
So that's about 85% of the reviews are 5-star reviews. You add in 4-star reviews, so this is another product where 95% or so are positive reviews. And what I often say, I've looked at products and then I'll see the reviews that might be 1 or 2 stars. It was because the product was received late. They loved the product so much they gave it a bad review because it was received late, or it might have been damaged or things like that. So when you really think about the quality of the product, the reviews are even better than the wonderful reviews we talk about. And hopefully what you do is, don't take my word for it, read the reviews. The reviews are so compelling, and as much as I could talk about any of my products, and I could talk for hours about them, and I do that frequently, the products themselves, the reviews speak most clearly, because these are people who are like you, who just decided to try something either from TV or from the internet, and you never know what you're getting. And these are folks who are sharing their experience, and when it comes to my products, I read those reviews, so I make sure that we're making a product that consistently gets incredible reviews. This is not a company that I work for someone else. I started the company 38 years ago. So 38 years ago, it's humbling for me to even say that. I feel old. 38 years ago, I started this company, and 38 years ago, I am still as connected to every single product. Every word you see written on a label of my products, I wrote all those words. So this is everything that I do. I am not just not financially invested in, I am personally invested in. And it's important to me that the products we make change people's lives. The products we make get exceptional reviews. And I think omega-3s are the perfect example of that endeavor, that effort that we put in.
Well, and
So
Andrew's
is it
telling you,
time?
I've transformed into my special custom. Look at this, it says my name on it. I feel so special. We are going to take you on an amazing tour. Andrew will be our guide.
And while we're doing a tour, just in terms of the friendly flora, which the friendly flora in our digestive system actually outnumbers all the cells in our body, it's hard to believe, but we're going to be doing a quick tour of our facility. The graphic on Ultimate Friendly Flora will be up on the screen, so if you want something further support for your immune system, your digestive system, our Ultimate Friendly Flora, 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule, unlike anything else on the market. So,
are we ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
This is a good look.
I love this. This should be on my new photos.
So here we go. So now, again, this is a sealed, you can see these glass panels. Our studio is sealed from the manufacturing floor. So all this manufacturing work takes place independently, literally hermetically sealed. What we're doing now is we're walking, this is our high-speed bottling line. So what are we bottling now? Actually, circulation and vein support for healthy legs. So that's one of the bottles. Someone will get that probably in the next few weeks. Everything we make fresh. So you're never getting products from HSN that are years old. If anything, typical products are days old or at most a few weeks old. This is a room where we put powder into packets. When our Secure comes in packets, it's filled in that room. Most people get our Secure in bottles because it's our meal replacement. It's most cost effective that way.
Andrew, silly question, but where do you go to buy a machine that does that?
Well, a perfect example, there are machine companies all around the world. That machine's made in America, actually in Ohio, I believe. This machine, this is where we make our teas. We don't rely on other people to make our teas. So this is where we make our teas, and hopefully we don't run out of our chamomile and chamomile mint. But this tea, this machine, it is the best tea-making machine in the world. It's a tiny footprint. That comes from Japan. There's no one in the world that knows more about making tea and doing it for centuries than the Japanese. Yeah. So that machine comes from Japan. Most every other machine in the facility are capsule machines. Our manual capsule machines come from America. Our semi-automatic capsule machines actually come from Germany. Our blenders that we'll be seeing here, they come from America. But as we walk over here, these are our small blenders. In the past, that blender was multiple times larger than our largest blender.
Wow.
And these are our small blenders, and obviously that's enormous.
Gosh.
So we have 3 blenders here of different sizes. As you can see, we're blending multiple products simultaneously. And what we try to do is we really respect the square footage here. So we're incredibly efficient. As you see, each room, the blender fits in that room perfectly.
Yeah.
So we try to keep our production space as efficient as possible and also as safe as possible for everyone. This is a transit hallway here that goes between the 2 warehouses and gives full access. Also, upstairs, we make all our soft gels. There's a 2nd floor above here. We make all our soft gels. Here's our big warehouse, and as you can see, the ceiling is 40 feet tall. So we get to stack our products, as you can see straight up here, we get to stack our products high.
Believable.
And those are all containers there. And containers are, unfortunately, something that take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
So we just built another building because we don't have room. As you can see, we have containers here. We don't have room for all the containers because it's all air. So we have another building that we just built next door. But here are big blenders. Behemoth blenders, 300 cubic foot blenders. The tolerances, if you saw this blender as it moves around to the ceiling and to the top, the tolerances are literally a fraction of an inch. We're not talking about 3/4 of an inch, but like 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. A scale is built into the floor, so we weigh things, so we are accounting for every gram of material when we're making a product. Here is our another big blender. That's 300 cubic foot. This is 150 cubic feet. And again, once again, perfectly efficiently fit into this room. And again, a scale is built in floor. So they're filled from above, and then they're emptied from below. And say we were blending healthy hair, skin, and nails, that powder would then go to our capsule rooms after it's being blended there. This is our high-speed powder fill line when we're putting powders in bottles. Our secure meal replacement, our marine collagen peptides, that's what's going to be filled there. So it's powder fill going to a bottle, no capsules. And then as we walk along here, that's all warehouse there. And then on the other side of the production is all warehouse there. So we have warehouse on both sides. That's our kind of cool storage for secure and chocolate and things.
Okay.
And now we're passing through the encapsulation area. So this is where all our encapsulation, whether it's healthy hair, skin, and nails, or circulation vein support, or Essential One. This is a machine that I ran.
This is where it started.
38 years ago. Because you have to realize the initial 8 years of my company, every product you got, I manufactured personally. I made the capsules. I put the capsules in bottles. That was me. So here, this is all encapsulation. On the far side there are the blenders.
Okay.
So what we have here is we have production space sandwiched between warehouses. Inbound materials there, finished outbound products there.
Okay.
So it all makes sense the way everything works together. This is an area that all of the machines get broken down and they get cleaned in here.
Wow.
So this is an area that, those are cleansing rooms in there. Everything obviously is all stainless steel, like a pharmaceutical facility. So we go about our work, even though we're not held to a pharmaceutical standard, we go about our work as if we were a pharmaceutical company. And now this is the part where we do our finished packaging of all our products.
Are you running 5 days a week?
We typically run production round the clock 4 days a week.
Okay.
And then the other 3 days are when we need overtime and things like that. So sometimes when we're busy, we're running 7 days a week. But typically we run round the clock Monday through Thursday. And then there are other activities, cleanup and things like that take place on Friday.
It's amazing. It never gets old seeing it. It's such an extraordinary experience. I've said to you before, Andrew, but being in Las Vegas, you should open this up for tours if only you could.
We've often thought of that. The only thing is, if we're opening for tours, we don't want it to interfere with the most important work we have, which is producing everyone's product. But to the extent we can in the future, because we created that new building there, I think that would be a wonderful thing, because as I've often said, for me, this is a privilege. Being able to make this product being able to make this product and have you see all our products being made, that's a privilege for me, that people actually get into our facility and see this. But for you, I think it's an opportunity. I think I would love to see where all my products are made. I think sometimes it might frighten me if I actually got to see the facilities. But I think, and it also gives you a sense that we have nothing to hide. That you're here, and we usually come here at least 2 or 3 times a year, and we open everything up. Yeah. And when we're doing, that's not fake production going on there. That's real production. This is not Hollywood. This is Henderson, Nevada. So you're actually watching the real production of our products. And as I said before, and we're doing our best to find out with our Choco Nouveau, the 74% is in jeopardy. And I think there's a high likelihood that we're going to be able to have more 74%. I'm going to confirm it. But as I said before, for me, it's not as though I want to sell more. The only way I'm going to make our 74%, because we're making more right now, the only way I'll be able to make it available is if I know it will get to you before Christmas. If it won't get to you before Christmas, we're not going to include that in our inventory. So we're determining that right now.
One of the things that you will notice from Andrew's presentations, and it's very, very important, these are not about rush race, you got to buy it now, it's about to sell out, that kind of craziness. It's never about that. With Choco Nouveau, it is such a specific thing, and we'll get into it when Andrew tells you that it's limited. I mean, you know, they've cut this presentation down. We're like 12 minutes, and we're supposed to do 30. We're doing 12 because there's just not a lot left. And Andrew will only commit to doing more later if we can guarantee that delivery. So, needless to say, it's exciting for us because we're 80% sold out now of what we originally had. If you've not ordered yours yet, order it as soon as you can. Boy, oh boy, it's the one item today that is just unbelievable. What is it? It's chocolate. Not just any chocolate, it's gourmet chocolate, it's luxury chocolate, it's velvety chocolate, it's creamy chocolate. It's the best tasting chocolate, dare I say, you've ever had. But this is better for you chocolate. It's 26 calories per square, and it has cholesterol lowering ingredients. It is like you've never experienced in your life. No country on earth, no destination on this planet has a product like this. Andrew has broken through and pioneered something that is capturing the attention of everybody far and wide. It's something that you can eat after dinner as a sweet treat. It's a pick-me-up after lunch. It's a little nibble when you fancy something, and you walk away going, boy, oh boy, I did something good for me. The reviews are in. When Andrew launched it 2 years ago, and the reviews are up here. They are through the roof. So here are the options that we've got, and then we'll dive in as much as they will allow us to, obviously, in this reduced presentation. You could choose a 30 serving, a 60 serving, a 120, or a 300. Now, because Choco Nouveau is only available a few times per year and never in the summer due to shipping issues and it melting, most people are obviously choosing 300, because if there's one thing for certain, I, like you, am going to eat my chocolate. $259 is what you would normally spend. Today, while supplies last, and I use that term cautiously, while supplies last, $129.90. You're saving $130. You're saving more than you're spending. If you buy a second one of the 300, you get an additional $10 off. So huge savings. And Andrew, I get excited getting to this because I think people that see it for the first time, they kind of scratch their heads. They don't understand what it is.
Well, it is the best tasting chocolate in the world. It's funny, I just tasted, normally I have the 74, the 91. I just tasted the 66. And the 66 really does taste like milk chocolate. But what was also fascinating, the 91%, despite being almost pure 91% chocolate, it has the same creamy texture of the 66. You will not find a 91% chocolate that's so rich yet so creamy and not bitter. And the 74% is the happy medium. That's a little over 50% of everyone is choosing the 74. And then it's split 50-50. If you love milk chocolate, you will love the 66%. And the 66%, again, they all deliver the same cholesterol-lowering benefits. They all are 26 calories. They're all exceptionally low in sugar. And that's the reason why we are, is because our chocolate is such a great variety of chocolate from South and Central America. And it's just interesting because I blind tasted all of these different varieties of chocolate. By blind tasting, I mean, I had no idea what I was tasting. I didn't want to know how much it cost. I didn't want to know where it came from. I only wanted to taste organic, fair trade chocolate from all over the world. And interestingly enough, the 66, the 74, the 91, they all ended up being from South and Central America, which is where original chocolate comes from, is South and Central America, fascinating enough. So you will not find a better tasting chocolate. Today in the large size, it's about 40 cents a square. Just the cholesterol lowering ingredient alone would be about 30 cents a square. You could find gourmet chocolate that isn't organic, that isn't fair trade, and you could find it for $1.50 a square. Again, ours, I defy you to find a better tasting chocolate in the world. You just will not, because my only goal was finding the best tasting chocolate to start with. I wasn't being loyal to any particular part of the world. I just wanted to make sure it was organic, fair trade, and then the best taste, period. And that's what we have. And I've read reviews earlier. You will find, you could read the reviews. The reviews go on and on and on about folks saying, I knew it was going to be healthy, but I didn't expect it to be the best tasting chocolate lover, that I'm a chocoholic, it's the best chocolate I've ever tasted in my life. That's the kind of reviews this product has gotten. Didn't surprise me at all, but I know that it surprised tens of thousands of people who use it.
Well, we are now going to try and do the impossible and squeeze a 30-minute presentation into 6 minutes left. And the only reason that is, folks, is just because we're just managing. We're running out. There's no easy way to say it. Just to show you, this in front of me is the 300 serving, and I think sometimes folks don't realize this is a tremendous, a tremendous amount of chocolate in here. I mean, there's so much good stuff. Remember, if you get a second 300 serving, so that plus that, you get $10 off.
I think that container weighs at least close to 4 pounds.
And we'll ship it free, which is fantastic.
No, it's shipped free. I mean, it is a substantial amount also. Many people ask this. As long as the chocolate's not exposed to temperatures above 80 degrees where it melts. But by the way, even if it melts, just let it cool down to room temperature or stick it in your refrigerator. It's completely fine. It changes nothing if it melts. But because of the way we individually wrap these in foil, these are going to be fine if you left them at home in your cupboard. These will be fine for 2 or 3 years. Not a problem at all. So I don't think it's going to last that long because I think you'll fall in love with it. And also for the holidays, when you get that 300, a second 300 is $10 off.
Yeah.
So that second 300, I think it ends up being less than 40 cents a square. But what a nice addition to a Christmas gift or a holiday gift, because if you take a half a dozen of these, because these are not just the most delicious chocolate you'll be giving away, you'll also be giving away someone's gift to health, because lowering cholesterol is all about improving our cardiovascular risk, reducing our risk of heart disease, and the ingredient in this product, the plant sterile esters in this product, not only make it creamier, not only make it more delicious and less bitter, but also make it the most unique chocolate in the world, the most uniquely heart-healthy chocolate in the world. And just one thing I was going to show, because it's such a unique accomplishment as well that we've been able to do here. If you look at the sugar content, when it comes to milk chocolate is very high in sugar. Our 66% is not. Our 66% tastes like milk chocolate. It only has 1.8 grams of sugar. Our 74 is 1.4 grams. Our 91 has less than 0.5 grams. It would be literally, it could label it as 0 because it has traces of sugar, less than half a gram of sugar. So basically has a little over 1 calorie of sugar in the 91%, a little over 1 calorie. And if you look at the levels of sugar here, what we did is a comparison. All of these are 26 calorie servings. 26 calories of each of the 3 Choco Nouveau, 26 calories of grapes or peaches or plums or apples, pineapples, oranges, blueberries, kiwi. 26 calories of any of those all have more than double the levels of sugar than Choco Nouveau. And then, this is the real surprise. We took vegetables. So vegetables that we typically think of being not just low in sugar, but almost devoid of sugar. And even at the bottom, cauliflower, snap peas, onions. There's more sugar in 26 calories of onion than there is in any of Choco Nouveau. So I just hope beyond its flavor, which will be the best tasting chocolate you've ever tried, beyond its ability to lower cholesterol, not a little, and not probably, and not sort of, but it's been approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to lower cholesterol levels. You should read the reviews. It actually does that. But it also, because of the way we went about making this, we're able to make a chocolate, a rich, deep, dark chocolate that tastes delicious, that's also low in sugar.
I'd love to give you some guidance if you don't know what to order, so let's start here. If you are a milk chocolate lover and you do not like dark chocolate whatsoever, I want you to choose the 66%. That's the light brown one, that's this one. Choose the 66%. That's if you are a milk chocolate lover and simply don't like the taste of dark chocolate. If you are wanting to try something that's a little bit purer, the most popular choice is 74%. Most people that don't like dark chocolate love this one, and it gives you so many wonderful health benefits. If you're already a dark chocolate connoisseur and you just love it, go hardcore, and you go for the 91% cacao. I wish you could see what I could see with 41,000 now sold. It is a remarkable achievement. It really is. And I think for anybody out there who eats chocolate, imagine eating a chocolate that tasted better and was healthier for you with less calories, because that's how you kind of sum up this story, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, I love the reviews that talk about cholesterol levels and dramatic reductions in cholesterol. But I think for most people, maybe we're not seeking something to lower cholesterol and heart health. Certainly that's a benefit to anyone and everyone. But I think most of us are skeptical that how could this vitamin guy make a delicious chocolate? And truly, for 38 years, I've been making vitamins. That's my background, my technical experience. But I do have a really good palate, and I have good taste buds. And all I did is I went to the best growers, makers of chocolate in the world, and I simply chose the very best chocolate I could find. And this is the best chocolate. It's sort of an opportunity. I was like a kid, literally in a candy store, and I got to try all these different chocolate varieties, and I found 3 that are absolutely exceptional. By adding our plant sterol esters, it lowers cholesterol. All it did is make it creamier, made it better, better for you in terms of taste, better for you in terms of texture, better for you in terms of health, and also it allows us to have lower sugar levels. But I just grabbed like a half a dozen charts here, and these I think speak more to flavor. My nightly guilty pleasure.
There you go.
No guilt on this one. You almost don't realize that these chocolate treats are good for you and filled with chocolate-fighting plant sterols, cholesterol-fighting plant sterols. I've been taking Cholesticare for many years now. I supplement with these as well. It will be hard to eat just one. C'est si bon. That means in French, that's so good. That's actually a French song. Who was it who did that?
C'est si bon?
C'est si bon. It might have been Maurice Chevalier who did that.
Okay.
It might have been. But we almost called Marcel, our new dog, Marcel. We almost called him Maurice.
Yeah.
That was the other name. I've been enjoying Choco Nouveau for about 2 weeks now, and it is so good. I actually never liked dark chocolate, but Choco Nouveau is very tasty. I find that they almost work like an appetite suppressant for me. That's actually the research on chocolate, on small portions of chocolate. If I'm feeling hungry between meals, I'll just eat 1 or 2 of these little chocolate squares, and I'm satisfied until I get around to preparing my next meal. I like the fact that this is healthy chocolate too. I'm currently using many of Andrew's nutritional products, and I'm very happy with all of them. From Sasha in Massachusetts. Simply decadent. It's hard to believe that something so decadent can be healthy. I'm a dark chocolate lover, but I have never tasted any as good as this. We have hundreds of reviews like that, and I've had access to some of the best in the world, and that's what I chose. The true test was my son, who is a milk chocolate lover and not fond of dark chocolate at all. He loves the creaminess of this chocolate and says while it is definitely dark chocolate, he would eat it. Amazing. I get goosebumps when I read these. Love Choco Nouveau. I wish you had seen my face when I first had a bite of this Choco Nouveau. This chocolate is so good, I was really surprised at how creamy it was because I've had chocolate with high cocoa contents before, and they didn't taste as good as Choco Nouveau. I'm glad I ordered the biggest size. I'm definitely ordering again. I make sure I have a supply in my purse every day. I don't leave home without Choco Nouveau. We'll do one last one. Best of the 3, Andrew hit a home run. I received all 3 types of chocolate and find that the Choco Nouveau 91% is the best. I've always liked dark chocolate, but this is the best I have ever tried. It is darkly intense and creamy. For those who prefer a more sweet chocolate, I believe that. Adding more sugar would negate the benefits of the dark chocolate. And all of our chocolates, as I've said, low in sugar. So whatever you might be, if you're a milk chocolate lover, you'll love the 66, maybe even the 74. If you like rich dark chocolate, you'll love the 91, but it's always creamy, never gritty or dry like typical dark chocolate. It's as those reviews said, and I have dozens, I have right here more than 100 reviews that only talk to the fact that this is the best dark chocolate they've ever had. And that's because that's all I set out to make.
Our team are working actively. I know Andrew, when we finish our show, is going to work with them to see whatever is left for tonight. Obviously, there'll just be abbreviated presentations going on.
But just to make clear, the 66% and the 91%, they're fine. We're not going to run out of either of those. So the 66%, which is like our milk chocolate, the 91%, which was just the favorite of the review I read, that 91% extra rich, they're fine. They will last till midnight, no problems at all. It's the 74% that's sort of the problem here. That's the one they're a little bit indeterminate. We're trying to do our best. We're in the process of making it now. I will only incorporate it into our inventory if I know it will be received by you before Christmas. So I want to make sure that happens, and we're going to do our very best.
And of course, the 74 is always the most most popular. So if that's the one you want to go for, it's that kind of happy medium in so many ways, order sooner rather than later. We only have 10 minutes left. We're going to head over this way. That is our today's special, but we have a second today's special that is just as important. Maybe not as tasty, but it's just as important.
Choco Nouveau, I look at that as being certainly for great health. It's great to start off the year with that, but it's a great gift over the holidays. Chocolate is one of the most popular gifts we give. Why not give the most delicious chocolate that also is the world's healthiest chocolate, without question, without exception? And then the other thing about the holidays, we tend to throw caution to the wind with a lot of our behaviors. We tend to challenge our liver more than at any time during the year. And the two products we have here are PC Liver and Brain, which is really a structural product in terms of making sure the liver has the structural components necessary to do the repair and the regenerative work that it's constantly doing. And then the other option are liver antioxidant extracts. That's the product that supports the detoxifying role that the liver has to play, not just for our entire body, but for itself. Because the liver is dealing with all these challenging chemicals, these toxic chemicals all the time. The liver has to be able to detoxify itself and thereby regenerate its tissues and make sure that it stays healthy to keep us healthy. So both products, the way we structured it, a good example, the largest size bundle, the 480 and 240. 480 capsules of PC Liver and Brain would normally be $99. Today, for $89, you get a bundle that includes the PC Liver and Brain and the liver antioxidant extracts. So basically, for $10 less than normal price and free shipping and handling, you get a bottle of liver antioxidant extracts. And we're not talking about something that just lasts a month or two. If you take 2 capsules a day of the PC Liver and Brain and 1 capsule a day of liver antioxidants, they're lasting 8 months. If you take them, say, less frequently than that, if you don't take them on a daily basis, it's going to last a year or more. So it's a great value that lasts an extended period of time. And the cost per capsule, you're talking about 720 capsules for $89. You're talking about, I think it's about 12 cents a capsule for products that are otherwise quite expensive ingredients.
There's a lot that I've certainly learned today from Andrew with regards, you know, the abuse is the wrong word, but you think about the heart, you think about the brain, and you think about the liver. I mean, it goes through so much. Anything we're eating, anything we're drinking, any medications that we're taking. So what are we doing to support our liver? This product, and the numbers are astonishing. Just to give you an example, the PC Liver and Brain is an 80% 5 stars. The same with the other liver antioxidants. I mean, it's phenomenally reviewed. This time of year, let's begin. As we get into January, February, we're going to think about maybe detoxing and cleansing and doing some good things for our bodies. This is going to be a wonderful way to go. The pricing that you get tonight for $89, and if I could urge you to think about that combo set, because the two together are amazing, and it's like you're getting one of the bottles for free. They work so magically in terms of what they can do. The reviews showcase how people feel and the difference that it can make. It's one of those products that I do think needs to be talked about, Andrew, because it's vital. We need a healthy liver.
Without a healthy liver, no other key organ, the ones we really think and focus on, because the liver's sort of the forgotten organ. Unfortunately, we don't really have a connection to what we could necessarily do to make our liver healthier, to support our liver's detoxifying itself, to support our liver's incredible capacity to regenerate itself. The liver is the only organ that actually has the capacity to regenerate new tissue, not just simply repair itself, but to actually regenerate new tissue. And that goes almost just with the importance of its role in the body, and also with the role it has because it's dealing with the nastiest, dirtiest chemical work inside our body. So we tend to forget about our liver. The best thing to do with this product, beyond reading science, you could go to the National Research Database, and you could put a research study in about phosphatidylcholine or PC, or simply look at choline and look at the role in liver health and dealing with liver health issues. PC Liver and Brain goes without saying. It's a structural molecule. I was talking about this the other day, trying to give someone an analogy, and saying our liver is about the size of a football. But our liver does all this filtration work, which is basically a chemical filtration job. And if you look at the membrane surface area of our liver that's available to do this work, It's about 8 football fields, so I was trying to explain. Imagine whatever, a coffee filter in an old, like one of those coffee machines. Imagine a coffee filter that's 8 football fields in size. Oh my gosh. 8 football fields. Well, you know, how many acres is that? That's got to be 20 acres or something like that. But 8 football fields in size, that filter, and that's effectively what's all elegantly folded up and wrapped up into our liver, which is less than the size of a football. 8 football fields of membrane surface area. Of those 8 football fields, 5 of them are phosphatidylcholine. Also thinking about phosphatidylinositol and phosphatidylethynolamine, the other phospholipids you get as a bonus in the PC product, those are also part of that membrane surface area, probably accounting for about 6.5 to 7 of those total 8 football fields. So that's the critical role that PC plays, because our liver is constantly repairing and regenerating itself, because it's constantly working and it's dealing with some nasty, unpleasant chemicals. If our liver stops doing that work, the inside of our body becomes a very unpleasant environment for our heart and brain. Eventually, they will stop functioning. They can't function without the liver being the platform and the foundation of all their work. So when we're looking at PC, liver, and brain, we're looking at really the foundational, structural underpinnings of our liver. When we look at liver antioxidant extracts, we look at the detoxification role. That not only is the liver constantly detoxifying our body, but how nice if we could aid our liver in detoxifying itself, and then it will do its job better. And the best insight into how effective this product is, because it's not as though when we do exercise, the more exercise we do, our resting heart rate goes down. We sort of have a connection to our heart. When we take our eye product, we see our vision gets better. Our night vision gets better. There's no connection to this product unless, and you see it in the reviews, unless you're going to your doctor getting, say, an annual blood checkup, because we're all taking so many medications nowadays that burden our liver, that we see a positive change in our liver enzymes. That's the only access, the only connection we have to the work our liver is doing and the benefits this product can deliver. And you see those kinds of reviews in abundance on both of these products, especially when they're both being used together.
So it would be fair to say there's a synergy when the two are taken together?
Absolutely. When you simply think in terms of one of them is structural, one of them is sort of functional. Obviously, structure determines function, but when you're talking about the botanical extracts and you're talking about them assisting the liver in its own detoxification role, that enhances the liver's ability to do the cleansing work that it has to do for our entire body. So just think about the fact that our liver, every hour, our liver is multiple times recycling all the blood in our body. Multiple times. And in doing it, has to identify, it has to sequester, it has to break down, and it has to get rid of the chemicals that otherwise will pose a danger to our health. So the liver is just an unbelievable organ. The heart is basically pretty straightforward. It's a muscle. The way it functions is certainly elegant, with its 4 different chambers that are responsible for moving our blood to our lungs, where it gets oxygenated, and moving it back from our lungs back to the heart, where it gets pumped to the rest of our body. An elegant structure, but it's basically a muscle with a unique function that magically goes on for our entire lifetime. Our brain, obviously, is just a remarkable organ, but it has a basic job, and it does that basic job, processing information, remembering, things like that. But our liver has to be able to engage in thousands of different kinds of chemical reactions that help us deal with protein metabolism, fat metabolism, cholesterol metabolism. It's responsible for synthesizing many of the molecules we rely on. It's also required to break down all of the diverse chemicals that come into our body, whether it's the drugs we consume, the alcohol we drink, the chemical additives in food, the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides that we're exposed to. That's what our liver has to do. The list is remarkable. I have to say, as elegantly designed and as remarkable as our brain and our heart are, The liver, it might do just some basic chemistry and a whole bunch of it, but it's an amazing organ. And unfortunately, our body and everything we do hinges upon how well our liver functions, and we typically don't give it a moment's thought.
And your today's special will be made right here in Henderson, Nevada. It will be made fresh for you. It won't be a product that is sat on a shelf in a store in your city, town, or village that's been there for however long, you never know.
I wouldn't be surprised if the first bottle of liver antioxidant extracts that we delivered for this today's special, I wouldn't be surprised, the first, not the last, because they usually comes in like a staggered deliveries. I wouldn't be surprised if the first bottle was delivered less than 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Meaning that in some cases, our products, and we're still probably delivering within days of a show, and we certainly deliver after the show as well. So our products, I often say, are delivered fresh, sometimes fresher than the produce you're seeing at your grocery store. But that's, whoa, Link, what is it?
It's time to go, Andrew, you can tell.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, look at Marcel and Lincoln together.
What was that? What did you find on the...
Are they
was
friends?
Was it a treat? Oh.
Do they get on well together?
Oh, they get along great. Sometimes Marcel's a puppy, so sometimes he annoys everyone, including Lincoln. But Link looks at Marcel as his toy. So Lincoln knows the names of his toys, and now he knows the names of Marcel. Marcel only barely knows his name. Lincoln knew Marcel's name before. Come here, guys. Come here. And look at Marcel.
Look at
Sit. Can you do a rounders? So Marcel does his own version of it, and yeah, they're amazing. And Link is 9.5 years old, still thinks he's a puppy, and Marcel is obviously 6 months old and puppy. But do a rounder again.
You've taught him. That's impressive, Andrew, that he could do that already.
Oh no, well, most dogs, if you're patient with them. Lincoln, as I said before, what's impressive about Lincoln is the quantity of his vocabulary. If I'm on the phone and I say words like hungry, food, dinner, lunch, I mean, he has so many words he identifies. He knows the names of his toys. Uh-oh, Marcel's getting crazy.